praise God for the choir, church.
Lord, I stand before you once again. I'm so glad that I know you understand. I've done everything I know how to do, and as usual, I end up crying out to you. I tried so hard to do my best, but I don't feel like I will make it through this test. I can't remember feeling so much pain, and these tears keep falling like the pouring rain. I try to force myself to wear a smile, but it's just not there. This pain I feel deep down inside my heart seems so unfair. It really feels like I won't make it through another day. So I come before you with a broken heart, and all I can say is, precious Lord, will you do that? Will you please do that for me? Lead me on. Help me to stand, help me to stand. See, I can't front, Lord, standing here today, 'cause I stumbled here and there along the way. I'm praying even as I sing this song, Lord, for my breakthrough. I hope it won't be too long. Try to force myself to wear a smile, but it's just not there. This pain I feel deep down inside my heart seems so unfair. This time I feel like I will make it through another day. So I come before you with a broken heart, and all I can say, precious Lord, please, do that? Will you please do that for me? Lead me on, lead me on. Help me to stand, help me to stand. Deep down I know you will come through. That's why I'm reaching out to you. Again. And when I feel your loving touch this wind, I'll be okay. I'll be okay if you take my hand. Take my hand. Lead me on, lead me on. Take my hand. I won't make it another day if you take my hand. Hold me. Without you, Jesus, I can't make it another day if you don't hold me. Hold me. If you hold me, I know my breakthrough. Take my hand. Lord, if you take my hand, lead me on, lead me, hold me, hold me. The reason I want you to hold me, 'cause my breakthrough is on the way. Yeah. My breakthrough. Yeah. Breakthrough. Yeah. My breakthrough is on the way. My breakthrough. Yeah. Breakthrough is on the way. Breakthrough is on the way. Breakthrough is on the way. Breakthrough. Sometimes I get off to myself and I have to say, yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Let us praise God for this choir once more again this morning. James chapter 4. James chapter 4. James chapter 4. James chapter 4. And I want to commence our time together at verse 13. James chapter 4. I want to commence at verse 13. James chapter 4 and verse 13. Come now, you who say, today or tomorrow we will go into such and such a town and spend a year there and trade and make a profit. Yet you do not know what tomorrow will bring. What is your life? For you are a mist that appears for a little time and then vanishes. Instead, you ought to say, if the Lord's will, we will live and do this or that. I just want to preach this morning about the danger of tomorrow. The danger of tomorrow. There are many people today who consider themselves young. If I take a group of 20-somethings and ask them if they are young, most, if not all, would raise their hands and say, yes, I am young. There's only one problem with that. You cannot measure your age by your birthday, but you can only measure your age by your death date. See, if you are 35 and you're only going to live to be 40, then you're an old man. But if you are 45 and going to live to be 90, then you're still pretty young. You can only measure how old you are by the time you have left before you die. Now, who knows when they are going to die? Nobody. So then truly no one really knows who's old and who's young. I wish I had a witness in here this morning. You got to be careful how you count people in and count people out. I tell you all the time how I grew up in the country, raised by my grandparents, and my grandmother would often say that Marcus, the leaning tree, is not always the first to fall. None of us this morning are privileged. None of us this morning are wise. None of us this morning are blessed enough to know when the Lord shall call us home. But as the old preacher would say, it would behoove each of us to be ready. I think I should tell you early on before I lose your attention that the danger of tomorrow is that tomorrow may never come. One of the most heartbreaking aspects of today for me as your pastor or an evangelist is standing here knowing that there's someone here right now who is not ready if the Lord should call them home today because they are waiting on tomorrow. It happens every Sunday. I stand here in this same space. Have you ever been to McDonald's and seen where the children play? And how before the children get in, they've got two shoes where they tell the children to stand there. And if you stand here and take your shoes off, you put your shoes in the bin. I've got two shoes up here where I stand every week. And every week when I stand on top of these two shoes printed here, I ask for someone who needs to know the Lord to come down the aisle. And someone sits there and they think, I don't know him and I need to know him, but I'll wait until next Sunday. Tomorrow is not only a dangerous place, but tomorrow is also the place where each day most people put their hopes, their dreams, their responsibility, and sadly even their salvation is left in tomorrow. You might as well tell the truth this morning. It sounds something like this. I'll fill out that application tomorrow. I'll complete my FAFSA tomorrow. I'll call my mother who lives somewhere else that I haven't spoke to in a while tomorrow. I'll start my business tomorrow. Oh, here's one for you. I'll start that diet. Amen. My oldest boy, whom I affectionately refer to as TTC2, has been a bit of a con artist all of his life. I'll never forget when first used to take him to daycare, drop him off at daycare. I would go and pick him up and he'd be so ecstatic. He'd be so ecstatic to see his daddy after being gone all day long. He would be so excited about me picking him up that I would tease my wife about it. The children, they love me more than they love you. You just feed them, but they want to hang out with me. They look forward to seeing me. And one day, I want you to know that my wife called me because when she went to get Tamarcus from Stonebridge, Tamarcus refused to get in the car. Tamarcus said to her, I don't want to ride with you. I want to ride with my daddy. I'm not getting in the car with you. I'm getting in the car with my daddy. And I told my wife, look, I told you I'm the cool parent. They like me more than they like me. And then my wife told me the reason that Tamarcus wants to ride with you every day and not me is because every day you take him to McDonald's. Every day I bring him home. Now, I was offended, church, because I said to myself, my son likes me for me. He's not caught up with a toy in a mystery box. He's not caught up with the playground that smells like feet. He wants to spend time with his daddy. But the truth of the matter is he did enjoy McDonald's. He did enjoy his mystery box. And spending time with me was probably in the back of his mind. And just like Tamarcus in his earlier days looked over spending time with his daddy for a toy in a mystery box, so many of us do the same thing to God each day of our lives. We spend our time worrying about the mystery of tomorrow instead of basking in the presence of our Father. But I believe there's someone here this morning who can agree with me. No matter what tomorrow holds, as long as I'm with the Master, I am fine. Come now, you who say, today or tomorrow we will go into such a town and spend a year there and trade and make a profit. Yet you do not know what tomorrow will bring. What is your life? For you are what? A mist that appears for a little time and then vanishes. In 1994, Robert Zemeckis directed a movie from a novel that Winston Groom wrote, and Eric Roth did the screenplay starring Tom Hanks. The name of that movie, my friends, was Forrest Gump. I still have fond memories of watching Forrest Gump at my grandmother's house as a 7-year-old boy in front of her big iron heater with granddaddy behind me, watching the movie 1 minute, sleeping the next. Oh, my brothers and sisters, that movie was a long movie. In fact, it was almost longer than Titanic. But my brothers and sisters, there's one line in that movie that has arrested my attention and the attention for generations and probably more generations to come. Forrest, when talking about his dear sweet mother, says, you know, my mama always said life is like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're going to get. Well, my brothers and sisters, just like Forrest, I'd like to make this quote fit this sermon this morning. Tomorrow is like a box of chocolate. You never know what you're going to get. And sadly, in the world we live in today, it's hard to find a place to eat food where food is actually food. It's difficult to find doctors who write prescriptions based on needs. It's difficult to find men and women who respect authority long enough to make it home after the pullover. It's difficult to find law enforcement that understands respect and decency of humankind and value for all life is a right, not a privilege in this nation. It is a difficult moment, but my brothers and sisters, I want you to know that even though we don't know what tomorrow holds, we do know who holds tomorrow. And my brothers and sisters, I'd like to suggest to you that instead of focusing on the peculiars and the specifics of tomorrow, we ought to spend our time focusing on the one who holds tomorrow. Someone has lived long enough to testify that today never consults yesterday before shaping tomorrow. What do you mean, Pastor Cook? You can be healthy today and sick tomorrow. You can be rich today and broke tomorrow. You can be sad today and happy tomorrow. You can be popular and have millions of friends today only to wake up and discover enemies on tomorrow. There's someone who can testify you never know what tomorrow may bring. But my frustration with us as a body of believers is that we put too much stock in tomorrow to know God. Depending upon tomorrow, church, is a form of self-sufficiency. When you depend upon tomorrow, you imply that you know the answer to a question that only God knows. Pastor, the doctor gave me 3 months to live, but that was 3 years ago. I wish I had a witness in here. We can send man to the moon. We can send machines to Mars. We can create artificial organs, but nobody knows the number of days that they have left upon this earth. The richest man in the world can't tell you when he's going to die or can prevent his dying. And there's some people here that are so focused on being rich tomorrow that they forget to live today. My brothers and sisters, there in verse 15, James says, what is your life? For you are a mist that appears for a little time and then vanishes. Instead, you ought to say, if the Lord wills, we will live and do this or that. I want to sit down on this note, church. Life is entirely too short for tomorrow. I think I ought to say that again. Life is entirely too short for tomorrow. Some people in life are too serious for a party. Then there are others who are too silly for a funeral. All of us know somebody that takes themselves entirely too seriously. I wish I had a witness in here. They think that the world revolves around them, that nothing would be right without them. Church, listen, let me tell you something about the danger of tomorrow and thinking that the world will cease to exist without you, thinking that things can't move. Let me share with you the danger of that. If you want to know what kind of impression our lives make upon this earth, take a glass of water and stick your finger in that glass of water and pull it out and see what kind of dent you leave behind. The spot where you placed your finger will quickly fill in. While you may make an impression for a moment, as soon as you are off the scene, that place is going to fill right in. This is what I like. Let me say it to you another way. One monkey don't stop. I wish I had a witness in here. What I'm trying to tell you this morning is that the danger of tomorrow is that even if tomorrow comes, it's not guaranteed to come with you in it. And instead of focusing on a day that may never come, instead of focusing on a time that may never come, we've got to learn how to live in the present moment. We've got to learn how to find happiness right where we are. We've got to learn how to be satisfied right in the moment of today. Why? Because tomorrow may never come. Here it is. I'm done. I'm done preaching. The danger of tomorrow is that tomorrow may never come. But church, I want you to know that we don't have to worry about tomorrow when you know the creator of tomorrow. Some people can't enjoy the sunshine of today for worrying about the stress of tomorrow. I think I ought to say it just one more time. Some people cannot enjoy the sunshine of today for worrying about the stress of tomorrow. You are so focused on the stress of tomorrow, so focused on bills that haven't matured, debt that hasn't been realized. You have changed your whole demeanor. You learned how to speak a whole nother language because of the stress of tomorrow. What do you mean? You learned to speak a whole nother language. As the creditors call you, you pick up new languages with each new conversation. Listen, stop worrying about tomorrow and picking up traits and skills that don't exist. You ought to live so fully in today that tomorrow is an afterthought. You ought to live the rest of today so well that if the Lord doesn't wake you up in the morning, when you stand before him, before thanking him for making it to heaven, you have to thank him for yesterday, because God, I'm going to utilize every moment that I want to leave you with a poem this morning, and I'm going to sit down here, but the danger of tomorrow is the name of this poem. The danger of tomorrow is that I don't know about tomorrow. I just live from day to day. Somebody knows this poem. I don't borrow from its sunshine, because the skies just might turn to gray. And I don't worry about the future, because I know what Jesus said. I wish I had a witness in here. And today, I'm going to walk right beside him, because he's the one who knows what lies ahead. There are things about tomorrow that I just don't seem to understand. But I know who holds tomorrow, and I know who holds my hand. And each step is getting brighter as the golden stairs I climb. and every burden is getting a little bit lighter. And all the clouds are silver lined. And the hymnologist went on to say, over there, the sun is always shining. I know there's somebody that came to church that's tired of dark clouds, that's tired of dark days. And I know there's somebody that came to church that's tired of weeping and worrying about tomorrow. But the hymnologist encourages us by informing us that there is a land where the sun is always shining. Not only is there a land where the sun is always shining, but there is a land where there are no tears and never will there be a dim eye. There is a land where the rainbow shall never cease to shine. And there is a land where the mountains touch the sky. There are many things about tomorrow I don't seem to understand, he says. But he says, I know who holds tomorrow. And I think I ought to ask you a question this morning, St. Smyrna. Is there anybody here this morning who knows who holds tomorrow? I know there's somebody that came here to meet the one who holds tomorrow. But there's somebody else who brought the one who holds tomorrow. They brought him to church with them this morning. And I wonder, is there anybody that can testify? You don't need to know the details of tomorrow to know that God is still good on tomorrow, as he is good right now, as he was good yesterday, he will be tomorrow and forevermore. Is there anybody here this morning that can testify with me? You're not worried about tomorrow because you understand that the same God that woke you up today is able to wake you up tomorrow. Is there anybody here that's not worried about tomorrow because you understand you didn't bring yourself this far? Is there anybody here that will testify accurately that where I am, the Lord brought me, that what I know, the Lord, he taught me, that what I have, the Lord, he gave me? And if that's your testimony, then you understand you have no reason to worry about tomorrow. Why should I be discouraged? And why should I feel alone? His eye, I wish I had a witness in here, is on the sparrow. And if his eye is on the sparrow, I know he watches me this morning. Is there anybody here that's gonna go into your tomorrow like the Lord is seeing you through your yesterday? Is there anybody here that's gonna finish out today like if tomorrow never comes, the Lord has still been good to you? Is there anybody here that can testify, if it had not been for the Lord who was on your side, you would not be here today? Is there anybody here that wants to thank him that you're still alive? He may not come when we want him to come, but we are here right now because he always shows up right in the nick of time. If you know he shows up in the nick of time, will you help me close the message and high five your neighbor and say, neighbor, wait on him. Yes, sir. Lean over and tell your other neighbor, wait on him. Why should we wait on him? They that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings just like an eagle. They shall run and not be weary. They shall walk and not faint. Is there anybody here that's waiting on the Lord? If you're waiting on him, shout yes. If you're waiting on him, shout yes. Can I give you 3 reasons, and I'm done preaching now, why you ought to wait on the Lord? Reason number 1, he woke you up this morning. Yes. Reason number 2, why you ought to wait on the Lord. He woke you up. And reason number 3, why we all ought to wait on the Lord. He woke us up early this Sunday morning, and since he woke us up, we ought to wait on him. Yeah. Yeah.